Hi everyone, welcome back to Cast Off Saturday for November the 2nd, 2013. Hope everybody has been doing great. This week is going to be relatively short. I only have one finished project to share with you guys. I'm still working on my big project. It's getting there. I'm on the last increase, I think. Yeah, I'm on the last increase repeat of it, so it's coming up, I'm sure. I have been watching a new podcaster for the past 2 weeks, I think, and her name is Chrissy, and she is from Snappy Stitches, and I will be sure to link her below so you can find her too. She is an exceptional knitter. I just love her work. She also crochets too, and she's a spinner. Just so much beautifulness going on in her podcast. I love them. So she did a pair of socks back in the summer, and they were called the Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Lauder, and it is a pay pattern on Ravelry. So I wanted to knit up a pair of socks, so I decided to go with that one. So this is the sock, and I end up using size 2.5 millimeter DPNs and sock weight yarn, which this is actually the first time that I've knit a sock and sock weight yarn, and it's not as scary as it first seems. I actually enjoyed it more. So I hope you guys can see it. The Hermione's Everyday Sock has this beautiful texture to it here. It is a 4-row repeat, and it is not hard at all. It's not. It maybe takes a couple rows to get used to the repeat, but then you can memorize it quite easy. It's got the Eye Partridge heel, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but right here along the heel flap, there's a garter stitch row, which is very, very handy when having to pick up your garter stitch your gusset stitches. So that is included in the pattern, and I just love it. I think that's great. You usually have to fumble to find your stitches and calculate it or rip back to get the correct amount. But with the garter stitch edge, it just really, really helps to get the correct amount of stitches the first time. So I really like that. So here's the second one that I did. The only thing I did differently from the pattern is my two cuffs. Instead of doing the normal 1x1 rib, I ended up doing the twisted rib, which means that I knitted in the back loop when I did my knit stitches. And it just creates, I don't know, I think it creates more of a stretchier cuff. Not entirely sure, but I think so. I just liked it a little bit better, so I decided to go with that. So these are the socks. These are from my mom. So there we go. And the yarn that I used, I'm just going to get the thing here. The yarn that I used was Soft Like Kittens, and it is hand-dyed yarn from Auckland, New Zealand. And the lady that dyes it is Annette Russell. And here is her card. You can find her on Etsy or at softlikekittens.com. And she just has some of the most beautiful hand-dyed yarns. This one that I got for the project was prototype 228, I think. I lost the ball band, it fell off, so I'm not quite sure, but I think it's prototype 228. And it's just got these beautiful soft grays, it's got some soft pink, and beautiful soft green. They're very subtle colors, but they're very, very gorgeous. And this is how much I have left after making my pair of socks. And there's another one of these that is quite smaller, but there's still a good amount of it, so it's pretty awesome. So that's the socks. I will see if I can get a nice picture of them up at the end of the video for you guys to see. I also have this project listed on my Ravelry page, so if you guys would like to check that out, you can see the yarn and the needles that I used. And I'm just going to touch on this quick. The needles that I originally cast it on with are Knit Picks nickel plated DPNs, and that's how I did my first sock. And then when I went to knit up my second sock, I had been pulling through some old projects that I had frogged, and I ended up finding these needles that I had bought and forgot about. These are the Knit Pros. I think they're called Knit Pro Carbon DPNs, and they are just fabulous needles. They got the nickel plated tip, and they are quite sharp. I don't know if you guys can tell. They are quite sharp, and they got like this plasticky center here. It's very nice, and there's great slippage on it, so there's no pulling at all whatsoever, and you got the nice slick nickel plated tip. The thing that I like about these from the Knit Picks is that they're not heavy. With my first sock, you can definitely tell like when you're holding it that it's much looser knit, and that's because I feel that the nickel plates are heavy and it weighs down on my yarn, where these you can hardly tell that you're holding them. So they're much nicer to knit with, and it did not pull on my project, which made for my second sock being much tighter. So if you knit with DPNs, I would totally recommend checking these out. They are quite pricey. I think I paid like $11, but I think it's a good investment if you're using them to knit socks. So I totally recommend them. They come in a set of 5. So yeah. Besides that, I don't have anything else to share with you this week. Mama don't either. She is working on some hats, so I will show you those next week. So that will be all. Make sure you check the description box below. I will list you the Hermione's socks and Chrissy's channel, and if I can find the number of the colorway for the socks, I will list that as well. So I will have the cast-off numbers listed in the description box below, so be sure you check them out too. Until next week, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you then. Bye.